Welcome, everybody, to Intensity Broadcasting. I'm Joe Wright, and I'm here with the race number 1 of the Arca series from Extreme Forces. It's brought to you by Stanley Everett Racing, SER. Check him out on Facebook. Also, we got a second here. Eddie Morris is in the booth tonight. He'll be joining us here on Monday nights, hopefully every week. We'll see if he can handle the pressure. How's it going, Eddie?
It's going, brother. How you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm excited for you to be in the booth with me, D. Wright, in the car this season on Monday nights. So it'll be cool to watch him navigate and not be a wrecking ball, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully, man. He's come a little ways and he's doing better than he used to. That's for sure. So
I would say, speaking of a new season here in the EFRL Monday Night Arca Series, we're starting the race here at Daytona. Next week we'll move on to Dover. Kansas Speedway will be next. They'll be off for the holidays. Back into race 4 at Pocono, an off week for the new year. And then back to it in Atlanta for race 5. And we're running a 15-race season with a championship top 4 battling it out. Race number 15. That'll be exciting from our favorite track, Eddie, Michigan.
yeah, that's gonna be interesting in these Arca cars here for sure. So that'll be one to tune in and watch.
And I want to take a second here to tell you about our sponsor, Stanley Everett Racing. And we're going to try to pull Brandon Richardson in, or Tony Richardson, I'm sorry, in to the booth. And he can tell you a little bit about SER. Hey, Tony, you got Joe and Eddie in the booth. You got us?
Yes, sir. How are we doing today?
All right, buddy. Hey, so I want to pull you in the booth here as the sponsor, Stanley Everett Racing. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah. So Stanley Everett Racing started back about mid 2005. Started out with my son Brandon, who's in the league with us, racing karts. Around 2007 or so, we went to Tunica. We've been going to Tunica a couple of years, and he got injured there. And being the parents, we decided that was enough for racing, so we stepped out of it. Kind of some regrets on that. We'd like to get back into it. We're thinking about a Legends car going for next season. But at any rate, Stanley Everett Racing is named after my grandfather. My grandfather has always been there for us and very supportive. And we lost him in 2004. And so that's where the name Stanley Everett Racing was born. And that's the name we follow. And we'd like to think that sponsoring these kind of races, that we're out here to have fun and like to be supportive on that, and he's looking down and smiling on us.
That's awesome stuff, Tony. I just wanted to give you guys a shout out and make sure that you got some screen time here, and also thanks to you and honoring your grandfather. That's a pretty cool thing. Good job.
Yeah, thank you very much, and big shout out to you guys for all that you guys do, and thanks for Dean and all he puts up. It's a lot of sacrifice with family time, and that's another great reason as to why I do this. I'm not really any good at it, but my son enjoys it, and it gives me a chance to spend some good quality time with him now that he's a little bit older, kind of doing his own thing.
Very, very cool. Thanks again, Tony, for all you do for the league and sponsoring tonight's race. Good job.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys. You take care. Have a good one.
For sure, man. Good luck.
All right, Eddie. That tells you that story. That's an interesting story. I didn't know that. That's good stuff. Coming from
pretty cool, man.
Tony.
They can, let that legacy live on and have him still be a part of it. That's pretty cool.
And so we're about to get ready here for qualifying pretty soon. I know we're running up short on time. About 3 seconds left here. Fastest in practice with Setzer and Fox, the top 2. We're going to see some new names this season too, Eddie. While they're getting prepped real quick for qualifying, I want to show you about the new teams. So you got Stanley Everett Racing. You got Intensity Neon Racing, a little joint venture there. You got Alt or ILT. I'm not sure. Can't really see it. Motorsports. Buck Wild. Dustin Buck. He said that, I talked to him before the race, said that was an old name that they used in karting. Buck Wild Racing, so that's pretty cool. And you have Far North Motorsports owner Mick Lofson, and then Farron Elam Jr. with the Misfits. Those guys, some of the newer guys that we've seen in the league, and a couple of guys that aren't on that list there that are racing with those guys tonight as well, Eddie. So some new faces, some new drivers. We'll see what that brings to the table here as we get qualifying going. Let's take a look at Lee Krause as he's on track.
Yeah, I think those boys are going to need those teams tonight, man. Daytona here.
Yeah, Daytona, a big track for team racing. Strategy is going to come into play, Eddie. We talked a little bit with some of the guys beforehand about the strategies that are going to come into play, both with fuel stops and not fuel stops, stuff like that. I guess the fuel window is about 30 laps with the reduced amount that they have on board.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see who wants to play the gamble and you know, I guess we'll see if this thing goes green or how it plays out.
And you see Lee running that really high line on his out lap. That's indicative of super speedway racing here on iRacing. You should see him stay there for the next lap as well if he wants to get the fastest lap. Yeah, he'll stay high again here on his second lap, Eddie, which is really his first lap of time.
Yeah, that second lap, I think, is the money lap, man. That car's wound out. Got her humming.
Down the back stretch he goes after he came out of 1 and 2. Lee Krause working his way into turns 3 and 4 to hit that line just right for the money lap is what we like to call it here. Some guys already laying down some laps. Devin Smith to the top of the board on his first lap. We'll see if that holds up. I doubt it. Lee Krause about 6th on his first lap. Agerman up to 5th on his first lap. Olofsson to 4th. And you see Lee kind of hogging it down now. Eddie, is there an advantage to holding it down in that bottom line here in these cars?
I don't know if it's in these cars or not, but I do know like the Cup cars, and it seems like the next gen cars and the Xfinity and the trucks. I try to hug it down on that yellow line, man. It may be just psychological for me, but I try to keep it down there because I think it's faster.
Yeah, Lee just
around the track, so.
For sure. Lee just scrubbed some speed there, getting too far down the yellow. A little bit of sideways hurt, a little bit of tire squeal. Dustin Buck to the top of the board right now.
Yeah, it looks like that lap's going to put Lee at 9th for.
Yep. Tyler Aspinall now on track. Also checking out my brother D. Wright, our old broadcaster here on the Monday Night Series, but he's now moved to the car. Eddie moving to the booth.
Go blue.
Rocking the blue and yellow for Michigan. Dave's going to have his hands full here as he heads down the backstretch. He told me he's going to take the pole, Eddie.
Let's see if he can back that up.
It's looking a little lefty-righty. A lot of guys on the apron here at Daytona for that little extra. But if you touch that grass or do that, you scrub some speed. Wasn't enough, though. Not enough for the lead. That'll put him P7. Let's go on board now with Tyler Aspinall. Tyler Aspinall down the backstretch on his second lap. He's going to be looking for that pole position. We've seen him in the past be able to handle it. Tyler a lot smoother through 3 and 4 than Dave. Will he hit the apron as well? Looks like Tyler heads for the apron as well. Not quite. He's going to stay on track. Interesting choice there, Eddie. Tyler, 12th fastest. Chad Waller, Dylan Dunford, none of those guys electing to turn a lap, so they're going to start from the back. Dustin Buck's going to be your pole sitter. All right, Eddie, let's take them through the field. I'll take the top 4, you take the next 4, and so on and so forth.
Sounds good.
All right, let's see here. Starting on that pole position, as I stated a minute ago, Dustin Buck from Forest City, Iowa. And if that is him, that explains a lot. Matthew Setzer is going to start outside of him. Matthew, new to the league. Great starting spot for him on that P2. Dylan Redding, Neon Intensity Racing. You see that neon car for him, the Pelican Snowball Machine. And then outside of him will be Benjamin Park in fourth.
Fifth, we got Logan Hagerman. Look at that, Logan and Cody show paint. And we got Alan Warnicki starting sixth. P7, D Wright, Coctagon Camping. Eighth, we got, say it ain't so, Devin Pacino.
With a really cool ride, you got Devin Smith in the 95. Machine's going to roll off P9. Marietta, Ohio's own Donnie Bartlett rolling off P10 in that 21 machine. Derek Chaput from the Great White North in the 37, rolling off 11. And outside of him, Tyler Aspinall.
P13, we got Mick Olofsson. Sam Serco, I apologize if I'm saying that wrong, starting P14. Chris Wheeler, P15. And Rob Hamilton in 16th.
Jesse Adams is going to roll off 17th with Austin Green on his outside in that 15 machine. Atlee Atman Weiss, co-founder of Intensity Broadcasting, P19. 20th will be Lee Krause.
21st, we got Jacob Ellingson. 22nd, Chad Waller. Dylan Dunford rolling off 23rd. Josh Fox rolling off 24th. Dean Qualley 25th. Brandon Richardson 26th. We got the legend rolling off 27th, Gregory Froenick. And Daniel Stagner 28th, and Tony Richardson 29th.
And that rounds out your field for race number 1 in Extreme Forces Racing, presented to you by Intensity Broadcasting and sponsored by SER Stanley Everett Racing. You heard that awesome tribute to the grandparents or grandfather of the Richardson family. And so awesome job to those guys in keeping that alive. As they roll down the backstretch, we will be going green this time by. You'll see that pace car take a hard, sharp left, maybe squeal some tires, maybe not. And as Josh would say, they'll hit the loud pedal or something stupid like that.
Something like that. You know how Josh is.
I hope he's watching. I love you, Josh. Just joking. Wish you were here with us.
For sure. He's been busy with work a lot lately, man. Hopefully he's getting cleared up from that. So.
Yeah, if you need jewelry, see Josh Hall. Just saying.
For sure.
All right. The short shoot they come. The first restart, or start, I guess, should be on green. Green flag is out now. And they're racing, boys. And we have a pretty awesome sized field tonight. About 29 cars starting.
It's going to make for some good racing, that's for sure. A lot of drafting all the way around the track, and see if they separate into the packs or if they all want to conglomerate together there.
That was a big word, Eddie. Dustin
man,
Buck.
I'm taking that out of D. Wright's vocabulary there.
Dustin Buck sneaking out a little bit to the front here. Dylan Redding not leaning on him. We got one.
Contact.
Oh, yeah, they're going. And they're flipping. And that is going to bring in our first Intensity Broadcasting wreckage replay of the night. And this is so fitting, Eddie. It's so fitting. First place here, and that looks like a bump draft gone wrong early. You talked about it early in this there, Eddie. And we'll slow it down for everybody so we can see exactly what happened here. Yep. All right, here we go. Let's slow it down for you. And a little bit of contact there to the red car. Shoots a little bit left. I don't know if that's in front of them still. Something's happening in front of them, I guess, before that maybe.
Yeah, that goes with a 72. I try focusing on him.
Oh, yeah, the 45 and the 7. Let's see, Tyler Aspinall, where art thou? Here we go. That's the 21. And it looks like a little stack up, little nobody going full. Tyler getting in the back of the 21. The 21 coming back across the track. That's Donnie Bartlett. He's going to hook Chaput. Chaput getting the worst of that one. You're going to see Chaput go up in the air here in a second. And Tyler Aspinall both.
Airborne.
And does anybody make it through? Atman Weiss getting caught up in there as well. 27 getting some damage. The 8 with some damage of Josh Fox. 55. I don't think there's anybody who survived that thing, Eddie.
I don't think so, man. The first 9 cars.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah. All right, I guess Dave was right. You keep it at the front. You don't got to worry about that stuff. That was his strategy going in here.
Seemed to
A
work
lot
for him so far.
a lot of guys on pit road getting those fixes fixed. Dustin Buck, not your leader. So when the caution flew, Matthew Setzer was ahead by a nose. So he'll be your leader. Let's check out the chat, Eddie. What we got going on in there? Ricky Ricky says Monkey Man. And Mama Ellingson says hello. Hello, Mama Ellingson. Welcome to the broadcast.
That's right. Glad to have you.
I would imagine she's rooting for Ellingson on track as well. So that's interesting and fun.
I'm rooting for her to smash that like button and that follow button if she hasn't already.
Like, follow, subscribe, and share. Share this with your rest of your family, Mama. Let them
That's
know.
right.
Let them know that your boy is watching or racing, and that they should watch, and to share it with their friends, and to share it with their friends, and their friends, and their friends. We're trying to get to 2,000 likes and follows on Facebook. We're at 1,600. We got a couple of months left. 2-year anniversary is the goal of 2,000. I think we can do it, Eddie. We pushed for it last year, me and you. In this exact,
we did, man.
In this
for
exact
my
time,
birthday.
yeah, in this exact time slot, we made it happen. Let's
That's
push
right.
for it again. 400 or
Give us
so
2,000 for my birthday.
There we go.
That's how we did it last time.
All right. This will be the last lap of caution. As you can see, the pace car lights are off. That number 3 of Matthew Setzer up 1 position, stealing the lead from Dustin Buck at some point when the caution came out. Setzer with lane choice chooses the bottom. Looks like he's going to have Benjamin Park behind him, which I believe, Eddie, is one of his teammates.
Possible, man. It's going to take a minute to get used to who all's on teams and doing all that stuff. So.
Yeah, I've definitely made sure that is one of his teammates behind him, so that's why he chooses that low side there. Keeping in line with his teammates, as we talked about early in the broadcast. The teammates are important here.
Yeah.
Dustin Buck will be on the outside with Dylan Redding. Dylan Redding, an Intensity Neon driver behind him. Dustin Buck in a team of his own.
Buck Wild.
Buck Wild with Alan Warnicki, Lee Krause, Jake Ellingson, which is Mama Ellingson's Jake, and Chad Waller. All right, that pace car is going to turn left. They're going to hit the hard pedal or the fast pedal or the loud pedal or the pedal that, makes them go.
The thunder from down under their foot.
There you go. Matthew Setzer will set the pace. And the green flag is out, and we're racing. Dustin Buck actually with a great jump on the outside here, Eddie. And if Dylan Redding can get that thing tightened up, they might have a shot here at getting it to the front.
Yeah, if they can get that outside line working, man, they carry a lot of momentum around it.
You see that high line starting to form up. You got 3 cars. 3 cars is about all you need to make something happen out there. As long as you stay lined up and not moving around, you see a lot of movement left and right from some of those guys, though, especially D right.
Yeah, well, I mean, that last corner, it looked like Dustin was trying to do some side drafting there, and I'm not sure I would do that 5 laps into the race, but I guess that's why I'm up here with you.
Yeah, buddy. I mean, he is still running the iOS wing, so
This is true.
that makes
They
him
say it gives him more horsepower.
It makes him extra fast.
That's right.
Matthew Setzer is going to lead that lap in that 3 machine and not really even getting a push, just maintaining a little gap there between him and the 23. And Dylan Redding not giving a push either. But Dave Wright all over the back of Dylan saying, Dylan, let's go. Push this guy. Let's get us up there.
It's hard to keep your patience in these things because you just want to run up there and push the guy in front of you to the front and, you know, keep your momentum going. And on these, man, you can't really do that. You lift the back end of the car up and usually ends up in disaster, as you've seen in that previous stuff.
Yeah, it's definitely a game of manage the gap, or mind the gap, as some say. And if you can manage that gap between you and the guy in front of you just enough to give him going without hitting him, that's when you get that good run that you're seeing Dustin Buck now get as they go into turn 1 and 2. Now they're really
some more
starting...
cars on the outside line, too.
Yep, all that momentum from behind and that draft able to help propel them forward.
I think we got some talks of Plan A and Plan B going on here.
I do know that there are some guys who are going to hit pit road at lap 20. We talked to them in the pre-race. And Mama Ellingson says she has us on TV and Goat Locker on her phone. So that's pretty awesome.
Man, she's got it covered.
Yeah. Go Mama Ellingson.
Dedicated. That's right. Dedication. Love it.
We're now up to 22 concurrent viewers right now as we're watching the first laps here at Daytona with the Extreme Forces Arca series, their first race of the season. 29 cars started the race. Currently, we have 29 cars on the lead lap, I believe. Right, Eddie?
I think so, man.
Had one wreck early for push gone wrong and some stacking up there down the backstretch on the first lap. But other than that, it's been pretty clean. 2 lines. I think it's time, Eddie, for a pump up the intensity. What do you think?
I think so too, man. I was just looking back a little bit. I think Mick Olofsson got a little bit of the outside wall out there, so I was just trying to confirm that. But looks like he's good to go now. So.
I'm gonna pump it up. We're gonna turn up the volume here for you. Eddie's gonna not talk, neither am I. We're gonna go side by side in some cars and show you some of the views from inside some of these guys. All right, Eddie, it's been a pretty calm race here at Daytona so far. As we watch these guys work lap 13 of 50, but I think we're going to be coming up on some green flag pit stops, some shuffling at the front. You see Dustin Buck sliding left and right, giving some air to Dylan Redding. Dylan Redding now coming back on the outside with a push from D. Wright on the outside. And I saw that Dylan was clear at one point during that pump up the intensity, but just didn't take it, kind of staying on that outside line, hanging out with his teammate there, D. Wright.
Yeah, whenever you get that opening down there, man, if you can't take your teammate with you, you know your teammate's going to stick with you either way. So, you know, you don't want to leave him out to dry and him fall back and not be there to help you.
And they're both clear now. Actually, Dylan doesn't go. D. Wright with a power move to the inside. He's going to be down on that bottom line. Is Dustin Buck going to help him? It looks like Dustin Buck's going to tighten up to him here. But now on the outside, Dylan Redding's got Josh Fox to deal with on his rear bumper. Dylan liking the outside line here, I think, Eddie. Not really liking to be squeezed down on that inside line.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, you get the right cars behind you, man, on that outside line. And you know from racing at these places, it's kind of hard to give it up because you know you fought your way up there and to be able to clear that inside line. So you got that in the back of your mind, too. And, you know, it kind of makes you want to stay up top.
Yeah, it sure does. D. Wright said at the beginning of the broadcast to us before we came live, he wants to stay out front, manage his race from the front, and let all the bad stuff happen behind him. And so far, he's marched his way there and is making that happen. I think he wanted Dylan to go with him. I saw him hesitating to move down, and Dylan just didn't go with him. And now Dylan on the outside of him here as Dustin Buck. They're coming up on a lap car, Eddie. Things can get hectic. We know that from experience as well.
Yeah, and this is Daytona. It's a little narrower than Talladega. So.
Chaput keeping it high. He's doing well.
Into the wall. Seen a little bit of sparks.
Yeah, I'm watching him as they go through the field. They're dodging him. And everybody's going to clear by him, so nothing bad happening there. But that will definitely make you pucker.
Oh, for sure.
And that would be a Matt Knight's pucker moment, if I ever seen one.
Yep.
Matt Knights, we miss you in the broadcast booth. If you ever got time, come hang out with us. I know you watch these sometimes. Dylan Redding, Dave Wright, side by side. But for what seems like it's been like 5 laps now, Eddie, and nobody giving an inch.
Yeah, everybody seems to content, you know, to just kind of ride around in log laps right now. You might have the occasional pass or, you know, somebody switching lanes, but for the most part, everybody looks like they're pretty patient.
It'll be pretty cool to see what happens here with that strategy thing that's supposed to happen. Who can get on and off pit road safe and things of that nature. Dylan Redding content with staying on the high side, even though he was clear yet again, Eddie. He's just going to hold up that outside line.
Yeah, I'm not sure, man. Like, your teammate's down low, and I don't know.
I mean, right now, if they finish the way they are, it's 1-2, right?
Yeah.
I guess if you look at it like that.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff still to play before we start talking about that. So
let's take you through the field a little bit. Matthew Setzer, early leader. He's dropped back to 5th. As we look at his hot rod here. Nick Olofsson, quiet, but there on the outside of him. Donnie Bartlett caught up in that first wreck, finds himself flirting with the front. Oh, Dave. Up off the bottom, he's 3 wide. Dustin Buck's going to let him back down, though, Eddie. Wow. That was sketchy. That was sketchy. I thought he was done.
It's wanting Matt to come holler at us up here in the booth. So we just gave you 2 pucker moments.
That 23 of Benjamin Park's been about that same spot the entire race. He's dropped about 3 spots from the beginning, but really just hanging out there. Logan we saw up at the front early. He's dropped back just a little bit, back to 10th. He's kind of hanging out as well. Atliat Manuise on the outside of him. Devin Pacino showing some patience here. That's uncharacteristic of him, but he is. Dean Qualley, the closer. Watch for him to be there at the end, though, Eddie.
Yeah, he didn't even take a lap in qualifying, so he's drove his way up from the back too.
Dylan Dunford really hanging just off the back here. Maybe some fuel strategy of his own. We'll see what happens with that as this race goes on. Tyler Aspinall as well. And these guys all were caught up in that first wreck too, Eddie. So maybe they're just trying to keep that space, keep that thing clean, knowing they have to finish the race. Because as I reminded most of the drivers before the race started, in order to finish well, you must first finish.
That's true.
And the 8's going to take the lead from Dylan Redding. He's going to slide down in front of D. Wright. D. Wright said he's content with riding that bottom line in the second or third spot. We'll see if that holds true here. As he shoves the 8 out front. That's a pretty common place for an 8 machine of that color to be. Up front at Daytona.
Yeah. Why I run the 8 every chance I get.
Mick Olofsson real tight on Dylan Redding there on the outside line. That's going to help Dylan get a great run here. Dave and Dustin Buck tightening up on the inside. That'll give a little bit of the battle back to the 8 as they move through turns 3 and 4. The 8 with the momentum coming off of 4 will probably win the race to the line unless something crazy happens. Although the outside line getting a decent run here down the short chute. Into the tri-oval. And the 8's going to have him by a little bit at the line. But I'll tell you what, if they finish like that, I'll be surprised.
For sure. For sure.
Ooh, the 8 getting sucked up by the air. Did you see that? Almost a lane and a half. Almost making contact with the 11. Everybody able to hang on to it so far. Dakota Brandon says, let's go Josh Fox. Josh Fox is currently
he's leading
the
this
leader.
thing,
Yep.
Yeah, he's in that 8 car.
That is right. He is going. Let's go. He's getting a good push from that blue and yellow machine as well, keeping him up front, managing the temperatures. Eddie, do these things get pretty hot or what?
I have to correct you to begin with. It's blue and maize, bro. But no, I'm just playing. I don't know if they get hot or not.
Well, the only color scheme that matters is the blue and gold, so it doesn't matter what you say anyway.
I got you.
Notre Dame.
No.
Anyway, ooh, little wiggle out of the 8 as D. Wright in the blue and maize gives him a shove.
Coming up on the lap car.
They are. Another sketchy situation for the field as they try to pass Jesse Adams there on the outside line. Everybody able to clear as they scattered on the short chute. We'll watch Jesse go through the field because it can get crazy. Hagerman 3 wide with the 2 machine as well. And everybody able to clear by as we continue working lap 24 now. Mick Olofsson way up the track there. Eddie, I don't know if he's about to blow a right front or he's just not hanging onto the wheel. These guys are starting to push. I'm seeing a lot of cars pushing up the track.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Did you see that?
Yeah, I did.
Almost like 3 guys in a row getting into the outside wall. But as you said, Josh Fox leading this thing. We got a lot of guys on pit road as well, so maybe that's what people were doing, was looking at their relatives and making moves here to get to pit road. D. Wright slides to the outside. He wants that lead, and he's going to lead that lap. Dylan Redding's going to give him that push. Again, teammates working together. People pitting there at halfway, Eddie. That's going to shake up this field a little bit. I hear Rob Hamilton is off track. He's come back on the track. I heard him sliding through the grass. Derek Chaput, as they come down the backstretch, it's going to go high again. Let's see what happens here. And they're all able to skate by him again on that outside line. I say that and they almost go, hey, jeez.
That was a fucker.
D. Wright to the point again. He's going to get down in front of Josh. And now Dustin Buck to the outside as they cycle around. The conveyor belt at the front is in full effect.
That's what I love about this racing, man. I love it.
I'm just waiting for the big one, Eddie. I'm just waiting for it. And
You think we'll have a bigger one? Because we already had a big one.
yeah, we're going to have a bigger one. It's going to happen there in that second and third spot at some point. But we went to Talladega, and man, I loved the racing there. It's so much fun, the super speedway racing. Watching it in live is just, there's nothing like it. You're on the edge of your seat the entire time. Dylan Redding looks inside. Dustin Buck thinks better of it. No 3 wide yet. 25 to go. They're coming up on some lap traffic as well in front of them. We're going to see this big pack of cars, Eddie, real soon looking to get to pit road.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they coordinate that, and hopefully it'll be a clean exchange there.
Dustin Buck to the point now. Josh Fox was up 25 positions from the beginning of the race, Eddie, and he was in the lead, and now he's dropped back to about fourth. He's just hanging out there. You can see him in that 8 machine. Pretty comfortable with where he's at, I'm sure, trying to get to pit road soon. Mick Olofsson with a very aggressive move to get to that bottom line. One of the lap cars holding the bottom line.
He's got the 18. And Tony Richardson saying he's coming to pit road this time.
That's the legend for the block on the bottom. That'd be the 71 machine.
Yep.
Never seen him do that before.
No.
Dave Wright, Dylan Redding to the point now. They slide down in front of Greg Froelich. As Dustin Buck hit pit road, as well as Dylan Dunford, Dean Qualley, Brandon Richardson, Daniel Stagner, and Rowdy Tony Richardson of SCR. Now to the outside, you have Donnie Bartlett making a run. He's got Atlee Adman Weiss behind him and Logan Hagerman, as we've recycled this thing up at the front. I would imagine Dave has the lowest amount of fuel, so when he hits pit, then you'll know. And some guys behind him taken to pit road. Looks like Austin Green, Mick Olofsson, Jake Ellingson, Chad Walker hitting pit road.
Then that front pack gets a little smaller.
Some guys are spinning the cars off of pit road, getting into the grass, but they're hanging on to them somehow, some way.
84 said he's pitting this time.
And Tony Richardson down the middle. Lots of craziness happening here. Wow. Oh, the 55 gets into somebody, but nothing happens. Don't know how they survive that. It is time to get to pit road if you're Dave Wright. There they go.
But I remember
there is a pack behind them, too. Logan Hagerman's going to take over the lead. Some guys
locking them up.
Yeah, I was going to say, some guys locking them up back there. We'll see if anybody gets held. But Hagerman and Lee Krause staying out. Alan Warnicki behind them. Lee Krause to the outside now of Logan. Nobody wanting to help shove Logan here. Froelich to the outside. And here comes all the guys off of pit road.
Yeah, it don't look like nobody got held there. So everybody was able to get down to pit speed.
Dave Wright, the first off of pit road. Buccino second. Atlee Weiss, let's see where they come out on track. Here comes, you can see in the back of that picture, Lee Krause coming through turns 1 and 2. As the line of cars coming onto the track in front of them.
Looks like Logan's coming down pit road.
That's Tyler Aspinall, the 38, the 29, and the 68 now, Dustin Buck. And that's going to put everybody back together. Sam Serco, your new leader. I think he's probably stayed out a little bit here, Eddie, based on his positioning on track.
No, I think he's already came in. He was one of the first cars to come down.
He is a... You're saying... No.
I'm pretty sure I seen him say
he would be 38 seconds ahead of everybody if that's the case, Eddie. He may have hit pit road during that first caution, and that's why he's been able to stretch it here a little bit.
Possible.
But he's currently 40 seconds ahead of Logan Hagerman, who's in fourth, as the line of cars is about to go past him as well. And this line of cars will turn into a pack here real quick. It's just a matter of these guys all getting going and caught up. Sam Serco still your leader, as he's logging laps with the legend Fronek behind him. Of note, Chris Wheeler leading this pack of cars, which is essentially where you think the lead is going to be when Sam hits pit road eventually. And they're about half a track behind him as they come through the trial where they're at the finish line there, and Sam entering pit road now. So there you go. Here comes Sam to pit road. That will surrender the lead when they cross the line here to the one and only Chris Wheeler and Tyler Aspinall. Those guys hitting pit road at lap 20, I believe, Eddie. Pretty early, but getting that work done.
Yeah. Seemed to work out pretty good for them so far.
Yeah, they were able to queue it up, is what we call it, and run some qualifying laps lined up, and made up a little bit of time on track over the guys behind them. Oh, D. Wright getting into the back of Dean Qualley. Dean Qualley almost getting turned there. And they're 3 wide at the front. Oh, wow. One in the wall. I don't even know what to say. People are everywhere. Pacino in the wall.
D-Wright and Dean Qualley making a move on the outside.
And Buccino able to hang on to it there. That 29 machine of Brandon Richardson stuck in the middle in what would normally be a sucker hole. But, man, he's holding his own right now, I'll tell you what. Dean into the outside wall. Dave trying to stay with Dean. Dean still slapping the wall out there. Dave ducks in behind Richardson now. Chris Wheeler wheeling this thing at the front. Tyler Aspinall on his bumper. Dustin Buck lined up in third there on the bottom side. Lee Krause right behind him. But now here comes Brandon Richardson with that 84 pushing him. And he clears into the front over Chris Wheeler only by the hair on his skinny chin. Holy crap. That was close, man. Woo! And now back to the top. This guy's got a pair on him. Back to the bottom. Yeah. D. Wright with a run, though. That's going to help Dave. That coming up like that. The 27 now of Jake Ellingson. Mama Ellingson, are you watching? Because that 27 is on its way to the front. Currently P4. And these Arca drivers putting on a show here at Daytona International Speedway. Eddie, we're down to 14 laps to go, and the business is picking up at the front.
Yeah, I was just counting that down in my head, man. I was like, all right, lap 37. Okay, yeah, we're getting pretty close to the end here. So,
And you can see that urgency starting to pick up from some of these drivers as they're making some pretty drastic moves as they move toward the front. Richardson back and forth on the bottom there. He's holding that bottom line. Now he moves kind of to the middle. It's dangerous with Wheeler behind you. Wheeler is not afraid to stick that nose where it don't belong. We've seen him do it. He'll make him move. He's not going to wreck you, but he'll definitely stick a nose in there if he can.
Yeah, for sure. And I think Tyler would probably follow him right along there too. So
For sure.
it wouldn't look too good for 29 if that were to happen.
See a lot of people lifting back there. Oh, the caution's out. That's why. Greg Veronica has crashed.
Around.
All right, let's see what happened there. Wow, this happens for like a half a lap. This is be interesting. This is just behind that lead pack, as you see Dylan Redding there in the bottom of your screen. Ronick just running into the 23. And then back across the track, clips the 55. And they were trying to do their best RC Pro-Am backwards. It didn't work. You know what I mean by that, Eddie?
Yeah, they don't hold their brakes. I know exactly what that means. And it irritates everything out of me that you reckon you can't hold your brakes. Like, I don't get it. But
all right, everybody with enough fuel to make it to the end. Track position being pretty important, given what we've seen at the front. Not really much, like one or two cars able to pass each other, but at the front, kind of like a high-speed traffic jam here over the next 10 laps or so.
yeah, I think your front cars, man, I think they have what they have. And, if you're towards the back and, if you've got an extra set of tires or whatever, just to try to increase your track position, I say go for it. But I believe the top drivers they're in it to win it now.
Yeah, it'll be interesting calls from the guys at the back. Some tires might help you just a little bit here late in a run when you're trying to push somebody. You might have that little extra grip that you normally wouldn't have late in a run. So, yeah, like you said, why not? Yeah.
Yeah.
Heck
There's
yeah.
something different.
Me and you would do it if we were back there. We'd hook it up and we'd look for that high line, the high line, and
The third line.
and send it.
For sure.
Chris Wheeler really putting on a show up there at the front, but the man of the hour right now, Brandon Richardson, as he drove his backside off up to the front there. We've seen D right up there all day, but everyone around him not been up at the front most of the day. The pit stop, the pit strategy really working out for Chris Wheeler, Jake Ellingson, and Tyler Aspinall, getting them up to the front there. Brandon Richardson plus 25 right now, Eddie. Plus 25 from the beginning of the race.
Let's doing some driving, man. I believe he was one of the ones that didn't qualify also.
Yeah, and it seems to have worked out, This is one of those places where, a little bit of patience and exercising some good moves can get you to the front real quick. So,
yep.
All right, Eddie. We got, what do we got to go here? 11 to go right now. I think the lights on the pace car are off. So we'll have 10 to go. 9 when they hit the line. Who's your pick, Eddie? It's a crapshoot. It's Daytona, but give me your pick.
I was just messing around with the replay right there. Man, my pick. It's gonna be tough, man. I say, D. Wright, man. He's gonna put it where he needs to be. I think. He's been up there for the most part, and I think he's gonna pull it through, man. If he's gonna do it, he's gonna do it tonight.
I'll tell you who's no stranger to winning in these Arca cars, and that's Logan Hagerman in that 7 machine. Watch for him. He's been, stalking all night long, and now he's there. So
Yeah.
that's my pick, and that's not just because he's one of those intensity boys too, but I just these are the guys we've seen repeatedly at these super speedways be able to find themselves in those right positions to win the race. Now, for a long shot, person that you don't normally, may not know or haven't seen yet, but I like Setzer in that 3 machine. He was up there early in the race. Let's see what he can do late in the race now.
Yeah. And Josh Fox in the 8, he's also one to watch out for. I think he's 13th now. But Chris Wheeler, he's one to look out for. Dustin Buck, Dean Qualley, the closer, Dylan Dunford. I mean, there's a pretty good field here, man.
Yeah, man. All right, as they come down the short chute, hopefully for the last time under caution. Probably not going to be the case. His business is about to pick up. 9 laps to go here at Daytona. The green flag is out. Brandon Richardson through the gears. Chris Wheeler on his backside. Ellingson on the outside with D right in front of him. Tyler Aspinall third on that bottom line. Watch him as well, Eddie. He's a good little racer. We'll see what he can do here. No help for the 2 on the high side right now. That's going to cost them a little bit of track position here. Hagerman having to get through the gears. Dean Qualley as well right behind him. As now they're coming.
They're bringing the troops. That inside line, man, it's more formed up a little bit right now.
Yeah, but the outside really getting a good run. You see the little side
coming.
draft there from the 29. That's going to pull him by the 84. Dave Wright giving it back to him a little bit there. Wheeler being super generous to that 29 on the inside here.
Yeah.
Woo!
Couple more laps, I guarantee it won't be.
D. Wright was clear for a moment there. Probably could have slid down. Thought better of it. Thought, you know what? I'll just stay here for a minute. Still got some time left. 8 laps to go. That's going to kill that momentum on the outside for a second, though. As they're going to have to build up that speed again. Will Chris Wheeler jump up in front of Wright?
I think stay with Tyler down there. I think they're running on a team. I could be wrong, though.
Brandon Richardson still leading this thing. Chris Wheeler all over the back of him. I saw Wright sideways through the trial over there. I don't know if you saw that, Eddie, but it was pretty sideways. That killed that momentum just a little bit for those guys. Dustin Buck now to the inside. Look for Dustin Buck. If he gets clear, he will jump up in front of Wright. There he goes.
Yep.
And that's what Dave wanted to see, I think. Dave was waiting for somebody to just help him out. Get up here in front of me so I can shove you to the front. Dave comfortable with pushing. Buck comfortable with leading. So we'll see how that works out for them. This is where you got to be real careful. It's urgent, but it's not that urgent. Still 6 laps to go. A lot of race left here at Daytona. Long time to go around this place. Oh, I just said it and it just happened. I knew it was going to happen. That is the big one. The really big one.
Lord have mercy.
And that's a push.
Still running into people.
That is a push gone wrong, Eddie. On that outside line. We're going to go records rewind on this one and try to figure out what exactly happened. We kind of already know. All right, starts with the 84 here. I don't know that it's his fault. Just a push gone wrong. We'll see what happens here. In car is the best way to look at this, in my opinion. Just pushing off the corner. Can't really do that in these cars, that he lifts that back end of the car off, eh?
Yep. Yep. That's what we was talking about earlier. Lifting those rear wheels off the car in front of you, man. It's a helpless situation.
Let's look at that from a place maybe further back in the field. See what it looks like from their in-car. Oh. Tough break for... Hey, tough break for Setzer. So I'm with Setzer on staying in the gas here. It doesn't look like it's going to be that bad from where he's sitting, you know? He sees a car go left. He's like, all right. Oh, they're wrecking right. I got to get through this. And then all of a sudden it just, boom, piles up. Nothing you can do there. There's nothing you can do about that.
Man, oh, man.
Just a push gone wrong at the front there by the 84. I think I jinxed it a little bit by saying, have a little patience.
Yep.
That will cause some guys to use their second fast repair. I'm sorry. That will cause some guys to be dropping out of this race. A lot of those guys using their first fast repair.
Yeah, they used that in that first wreck. I think the first 9 cars were the only ones that didn't have to use their fast repair in that first wreck. So.
You see Atman Weiss trying to get some optionals done. Austin Green's rolling. Rob Hamilton still on pit road, probably getting some work done as well. Dustin Buck is, I think, going to be out of this thing, Eddie. I can't really tell.
Yeah, the damage he had on his car, that left front tire was facing, instead of rotating forward, it was horrible, man. It was like facing the infield.
He is done, and that's a terrible feeling for, to be being pushed to the lead and the push just going wrong there.
Yeah.
Jake Ellingson looking good, Mama Ellingson. A little update on your boy. Dave Wright, the starter of that bad news. Setzer, we saw him in that wreck. He's going to look okay. He looked like he had his reset as well. Still, Brandon Richardson, who was at the point as well during that, able to keep his reset, so he'll be okay. Dylan Dunford, haven't talked about him. Watch out, Eddie. That kid knows how to drive a car.
Yeah. Yeah, he won the iOS Arca Series Championship. Arca Pro
correct.
Series.
Yep, the first one.
Yeah, and then come last season on the Monday Night League when we were rotating the cars and stuff, and won the championship there. So essentially, he's going for 3 on Mondays. So 3 in a row.
3 for 3 on Monday nights, and we haven't seen him in any of the wrecks. He might have been in the first one, maybe a little bit in that second one. I'm not sure. I didn't see any damage from him. But look at Devin Pacino bouncing back after getting into the wall. He's sitting there 3rd. I'm sorry. Tyler Aspinall choosing the outside here. He is your leader. That'll put Logan Hagerman behind him. Logan and Hagerman, some teammates in the last season. I think. I don't know. They raced together, maybe. Sometime. At one point.
Something like that.
On a Tuesday. Going up.
His grandma washed their clothes under the same sun the other one's grandma did, so they're good.
All right. This will be a green-white checker first attempt here, Eddie. Tyler Aspinall with a decent jump on that outside line. Is he going to wait for Logan, or is he going to block that run on the low side here? That's the question. Looks like they're going to be 3 wide for second. Pacino threw it in.
Oh. I was going to say, man, that just wasn't organized enough on that bottom side. I was kind of worried Tyler had too much of a run
Pacino hitting Tyler in the middle of the corner. Tyler getting loose. Now Pacino to the outside. I think
Logan's gonna follow.
I think that's what we call go time.
It's definitely go time.
Hagerman had to put the brakes on there. He would have wrecked Pacino. But look at Dean Qualley, the closer, all by himself on the outside line. He's got the 11 in tow. And they're 3 wide behind him. 2 laps to go. Coming to the white flag here. If we make it to the flag, which we did, it is white flag on track. We're going to make it one more time around here. And this is where things get a little nutty.
Oh, yeah.
And there are cars wrecking at the back of the field. There goes D. Wright. He's gone. He's up in the air. Dean Qualley coming down the backstretch. Greg Froelich goes left. Bye, Greg.
See you, bye. How you temps, bro?
Pacino of Neon Racing on the inside line. Dylan Redding on the outside, pushing Dean Qualley. Logan Hagerman. Tyler Aspinall on the bottom.
That Fox in the 8 on the outside.
Watch that 17. Oh, they're wrecking. Oh. Pacino's going to take it. Tyler Aspinall second, and Donnie Bartlett sneaking in for the P3 podium. Sam Serco finishes 5th. Dean Qualley 4th. Daniel Stagger 6th. 7th will be Benjamin Park in his first race here with the Extreme Forces. Logan Hagerman goes from 4th to 8th at the line. Dylan Redding ends up 9th. Chris Wheeler 10th. And Josh Fox 11th. Man, what a race there at the end from these guys. And what a show put on by Devin Pacino to score his first career win here in the Arca Series with Extreme Forces. That's going to give Intensity Neon Racing their first win as well.
Man, what a finish.
Eddie, I do want to kind of roll it back. I want to see what happened with some of those things, like Froelich getting sent left and stuff, and then we'll talk with our drivers as they get themselves into the waiting room here.
Yeah, I'm sure they're still trying to process this.
I'm trying to process it all. There was a lot that happened on that last lap.
Yeah.
That's not the right one.
The Froelich thing looks like he went from the outside line to the inside line, and the 2's like, yeah, I don't think so. But man, there was all kinds of stuff happening on those last couple laps. If you don't like that, there's something wrong with you. That's all I'm gonna say about it.
Right. Well, I'll tell you what. They can debate that in the rooms. I can't find it. But we know who won it, and that's at 00, Devin Pacino. And as I said, Tyler Aspinall coming away second. Donnie Bartlett scooting there into that 3rd spot somehow, some way at the finish there.
Yeah, coming to the checkered, man. He was the 4th car on the inside line. Like, man.
All right, let's have a chat with Donnie Bartlett. Hey, Donnie, it's Joe and Eddie in the booth. You got us?
Yes, sir.
Man, before the race happened, I think I stopped into your chat area and said in order to get a good finish, you must first finish. And man, it looked like you weren't going to have such a great finish, and then, all of a sudden you're in 3rd place. Tell me how it happened.
After bad pits, I had to pit early and go to the back, and then just watch what line was moving, and then had my teammates tell me what line was moving faster, the high side or the bottom. And then when Tyler took the high side, I think he took the high side on that restart to get Logan behind him. And I just stayed at the bottom. I got pushed there 3 wide, got pushed back, and then a wreck happened. I don't know what happened ahead of me. And I told Tyler, I said, I'm not lifting, it's going to the checker. So I think I did get in the back of him, but overall, I'll take it.
Yeah, man, you were the fourth car on the inside line coming to the checkered flag there, and at that point, how did you think you were gonna finish this race?
Oh, I looked down. I was running seventh, and I think that's where I was going to finish. And then, like I said, I don't know what happened ahead of me, and I was like, well, it's checkers or wreckers.
Right. At that point, you're thinking, man, seventh, all right, top 10, and then the C's part, and you're like third. All right, we'll take it. So,
Yeah, I looked down. I'm seventh after I got shuffled back, and I was like, well, top 10 after a day I had, I'll take it. And then I crossed the finish line, and my name moved up to 3, and I was like, holy crap, yeah.
Awesome
That's awesome,
job,
man.
Donnie. Anybody you want to thank? Friends, family, anybody watching? Sponsors.
I want to thank Falcon Graphics doing the wrap on our team cars. He forgot to load his up. My girlfriend for letting me play this sim. Austin, the teammate, Mick, and hopefully we'll get Max. But I think we did pick up the winner on our team, I think. So we'll see.
All right.
It was.
Well, awesome job. Congratulations on a podium finish. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, guys. And thanks for broadcasting.
Yep.
You guys are awesome.
Thanks, man.
Tyler Aspinall, you got Joe and Eddie in the booth. You got us?
Yes, sir.
Well, my friend, you had a long night. Sometimes you were there, sometimes you weren't. Sometimes you had strategy, and sometimes you didn't. But whatever happened, you ended up second. Tell me about it.
So the original plan going into the race was either try to qualify up front or just go to the back. And clearly we qualified midfield, so we were just kind of caught there. And then I ended up wrecking early. Had to take my faster pair on lap 2. I forget what. I think it was actually lap 1.
It was
I forget
lap
what
one in the backstretch. But go
was it.
ahead.
Lap 1?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was really stressful because I had to stay in the back the entire time, which honestly, that's probably the best way to go because I kind of feel bad for the Intensity boys there because I kind of left them hanging with our strategy. I told Atlee that we were going to go in 3 laps later than planned, and then last second, I'm like, no, we're going in now. We're going in now. And nobody is ready, so it was just us 4 going in. And then crap kind of hit the fan. Greg kind of fell back. Rob was speeding and also spun off a pit road. So it was really just me and Chris hanging on for our lives there. But as I learned the strategy from you, taking less fuel earlier to fill the car up in a less amount of time, you see where it got us. Me and Chris were, I think, 1 and 2 there for a while. Not even for a while. For
yeah,
a few
definitely gave you the track position. And Eddie and I talked about it in the broadcast. For sure, got yourself that track position that was needed after a poor qualifying session. Eddie, you got anything?
Nah, man, that was crazy. Everything just coming to the line there, and if Logan wasn't turning sideways, it looked like Dean was coming down. So it looked like there was going to be fireworks either way you looked at it there. So it was an exciting finish. Congratulations on your second.
Thank you.
Good strategy, man.
Thank you.
Anybody you want to thank there, Tyler? I know Graham was watching.
Grammy, thank you for watching. I'd also like to thank Chris, Rob, and Greg for hanging through that crazy strategy there. I know it didn't work out for Rob and Greg as much as it did for me and Chris there, so we'll try better next week. DJ also, I know he just missed the race just by like a minute, so hopefully we'll have him next week as well. Also, Andy, other Grammy, Aunt Sherry, Mom, Uncle Travis, and Jeff. Thank you guys for watching, and hopefully here's to many, many more podiums this season.
All right, Tyler, take care. We'll see you again next week. Oh, go ahead, Eddie.
All right.
You got something?
I was gonna say, I heard a couple
Yeah.
Grammys there, man. I think we need some cookies up here. Let's make it happen.
All right, I'll see if I can send some in the mail for you.
Yeah. I don't know if I trust them. You have a good night,
I
buddy.
definitely won't poison them. That'll be to Dave, not you guys.
Later, buddy. All right, last but certainly not least, Ava Pacino getting that opportunity and taking full advantage of it absolutely sending it in the green white checker and not looking back and hoping everybody wrecked behind him, which is exactly what happened. Devin, talk us through it.
Yeah, no, I don't know even how we got to third. That last big one coming out of 2, we were in 11th and kind of just throttled down, kept the eyes shut, and we came out third. Um, and then we just got a really good restart. We took it 3 wide coming out of the trial on the restart, and then we just got a really good run on Aspinall to get to the outside of him, and had to put a big block on Logan, but I knew if he got to the inside of me, it was pretty much over. He pushed. If you want anyone behind you at these tracks and these cars where you can't really push, but they know what they're doing, it's definitely Logerman. He did a really good job holding off Dylan and Dean there at the end, and we were just able to get it done at the end, which was awesome.
Yeah, Devin's one of these guys that just he pops in races randomly and he wins. So you plan on running the full season here, buddy?
Yeah, my Mondays are free now, so I appreciate Dean for letting me run this. My approach is to be uncharacteristically patient, and that worked out for us today. Shout out to Joe. I love you.
I absolutely said that in the race. That
yeah, I heard you. I was watching it. I told Dave how cute that was. You were thinking out loud. But no, we had a lot of fun working with Dave. The lappers, it seems like the front guys caught him at the worst opportunities every time, and we got put in the wall and actually lost Dave when he restarted third. We fell back to like 12th. But no, I thought that was really funny. We had no choice but to be patient. I mean, once these cars get side by side, you can't push, so it's just so tough. You stay pretty stagnant. So I had a lot of fun out here tonight, though.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a different kind of season as we watch you guys work through some of the mile and a halves in the short tracks as well. So good luck next week, Devin, and good job tonight. Anybody you want to thank before we let you go?
Yeah, I just want to thank you guys for spending your night doing this, coming out here broadcasting for us. We know we do this so we can go back and watch it after everyone at Intensity. Neon Racing, I don't think I'm actually on them because they're full, so we got to work that out. But Pelican Snowballs, Dev Sports Cards, I just want to thank you guys again for doing this for us. Makes it a lot of fun.
Yeah, man. Well, take care, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you guys. Have a good night.
Tuba.
Well, Eddie, only 2 cautions, which is uncharacteristic of Daytona. A lot like the uncharacteristic moves of Devin Pacino. However, Devin making it happen, being patient, right? It actually worked out for him. So he said, thanks to me. So I guess that means he's going to be more patient from now on. And we'll see what happens. But no, awesome job to him. Great job to Tyler Aspinall with the strategy. Donnie Bartlett sneaking his way in there. Dean Qualley ending up 4th. Some of the guys having tougher nights. Dustin Buck getting turned while leading the race. Tough night for him. Logan Hagerman coming to line P3. Ends up P8th. These guys will bounce back next week. Daytona can be a crapshoot. You can lose a lot and you can gain a lot. And Devin Pacino gaining a lot here tonight. Eddie, you got any final thoughts?
Nah, man. There's you said there was two cautions. It was uncharacteristic. That's true, but man, those 2 cautions were big ones. So I kind of see why that was only 2. But man, looked like pretty decent racing through the whole field and really exciting finish. So looking forward to next week.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we said at the beginning of the broadcast, thanks again to the sponsor tonight, and that is SER Racing. Okay, Stanley Everett Racing. Brandon Richardson and Tony Richardson named after their grandfather, as he said at the beginning of the broadcast. If you didn't see the beginning of the broadcast, go back and listen to that explanation. Pretty cool stuff there. And again, thanks to them for sponsoring tonight's race. And as always, as Atlee Atman Weiss would say, Eddie, over and